Imagine a land between two rivers. This is Mesopotamia, the land between rivers. The Tigris and Euphrates nurtured life. They brought fertile soil for crops. They allowed cities to flourish. This is where civilization began, thousands of years ago. In this land, cities like Lagash and Umma rose to prominence. They were powerful city-states. They controlled the surrounding lands. They were rivals for resources and power. Lagash was known for its skilled artisans and its patron god, Ningersu. Umma, on the other hand, worshipped the god Shara. These cities thrived on agriculture and trade. They built impressive temples and palaces, but their prosperity masked a simmering tension. This tension would erupt into a conflict that would echo through history. It was a conflict over something vital to their survival land. Land meant food, land meant power, and the most coveted land of all was the Gu'edena. The Gu'edena was a fertile plain. It lay between Lagash and Umma. This land was a prize, promising prosperity to whoever controlled it. Both cities claimed the Gu'edena as their own. This dispute over land would become a festering wound. For generations, the two cities quarreled. They built fortifications, they conducted raids. The Gu'edena became a battleground. Its fertile soil was stained with blood. The conflict escalated under the rule of King Anatum of Lagash. He was a powerful and ambitious ruler. He sought to secure Lagash's dominance. His counterpart in Umma was King Ur-Ensena. He was equally determined to protect his city's interests. The stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of the Gu'edena. The dispute over the Gu'edena was not just about land, it was about water rights, it was about trade routes. It was about the very survival of these city-states. Small disputes escalated. Raids became more frequent. The tension between Lagash and Umma reached a boiling point. King Anatum of Lagash accused Umma of encroaching on their territory. He claimed that Umma was diverting water from the irrigation canals that fed Lagash's fields. These accusations further fueled the animosity between the two cities. Negotiations failed. Diplomatic efforts proved futile. War became inevitable. The drums of war began to beat. Both sides gathered their armies. They prepared for a conflict that would determine the destiny of their cities. The fate of the Gu'edena hung in the balance. The armies of Lagash and Umma clashed on the plains of the Gu'edena. It was a brutal and bloody affair. Soldiers on both sides were equipped with bronze weapons and armor. They fought with spears, axes, and swords. The Sumerian phalanx was the backbone of their armies. Imagine a wall of shields advancing in unison. Spears jutted out from behind the shields, a deadly forest of bronze. The clash of bronze against bronze echoed across the battlefield. The ground ran red with the blood of fallen warriors. Chariots pulled by donkeys thundered across the dusty plains. Archers rained arrows down upon the enemy ranks. The air was thick with the smell of sweat, blood, and fear. The fate of Lagash and Umma was being decided in the crucible of war. Section 5. Eannatum's Triumph, the Vulture Stele and its Tales. King Eannatum of Lagash proved to be a brilliant military strategist. He led his forces to victory in a series of decisive battles. The most famous of these battles is depicted on the Vulture Stele. This ancient monument tells the story of Eannatum's triumph. The Vulture Stele shows the carnage of battle in graphic detail. We see vultures feasting on the corpses of fallen Umma soldiers. We see Eannatum leading his troops to victory, his chariot crushing his enemies beneath its wheels. The stele is a testament to the brutality of ancient warfare. It is also a celebration of Eannatum's victory and Lagash's dominance. Eannatum's victory had a profound impact on the region. It established Lagash as the dominant power in Sumer. The Gu'edena fell under Lagash's control. Section 6. The Legacy of Conflict, a Cycle of Wars. The war between Lagash and Umma did not end with Eannatum's victory. It marked the beginning of a long and bloody cycle of conflict. For generations, these two city-states would continue to clash over the Gu'edena and other disputed territories. Each war sowed the seeds for the next. New kings would rise, eager to prove their might and avenge past defeats. The land would be soaked in the blood of countless soldiers. The cycle of violence seemed endless. The wars between Lagash and Umma were not isolated events. They were part of a larger pattern of conflict in ancient Mesopotamia. City-states rose and fell, empires clashed. The quest for land and resources fueled an unending cycle of warfare. Section 7 echoes in eternity. Understanding the significance. Why should we care about a war fought thousands of years ago? What relevance does it have to our lives today? The answer lies in understanding the significance of this conflict. The wars between Lagash and Umma were not just local squabbles. They were early examples of organized warfare. They marked a turning point in human history. For the first time, we see evidence of large-scale military campaigns. We see the development of military tactics and technologies. We see the emergence of powerful rulers who commanded vast armies. The wars between Lagash and Umma also highlight the enduring human capacity for conflict. They remind us that war is not a modern invention. It is deeply rooted in our past. The same motivations that drove those ancient conflicts, greed, ambition, the desire for power, still exist today. Section 8, Beyond the Battlefield. The human cost of war. The wars between Lagash and Umma had a profound impact on the lives of ordinary people. Imagine farmers forced to flee their fields as armies marched across the land. Imagine families torn apart by the loss of loved ones. The stelae and monuments tell the stories of kings and battles, but they often overlook the human cost of war. The countless lives cut short, the families shattered, the trauma that echoed through generations. We must remember that behind every casualty statistic there was a living, breathing person with hopes, dreams, and loved ones. The true cost of war can never be fully measured. It extends far beyond the battlefield, leaving deep scars on individuals, families, and societies. Section 9, The Dawn of History, written in blood and stone. The wars between Lagash and Umma are significant not only for what they tell us about warfare, but also for how they tell it. The Sumerians were among the first people to develop a writing system. Cuneiform, their script of wedge-shaped marks on clay tablets, allowed them to record their history, including their wars. These written records provide valuable insights into the political, social, and economic conditions of the time. They offer glimpses into the minds of the rulers and soldiers who fought these ancient battles. They remind us that history is not just a collection of dates and names. It is a tapestry woven from the lives, struggles, and triumphs of real people. The wars between Lagash and Umma are a stark reminder of the enduring power of the written word. Thousands of years later, these clay tablets still speak to us. They connect us to a distant past. They remind us of the importance of preserving our history, both the triumphs and the tragedies. For it is in understanding our past that we can hope to build a more peaceful future.